So what we're doing in this video is that we want to definitely solve these inequations, and then we want to put them on the number line. Let us take a first look at number one. So number one says 5x plus 2 is less than 6. So we're going to solve to have x. So what we're going to do is to focus on what we have here. So as you could see, if we subtract 2 from both sides, we're looking at 5x, this becomes 0, is less than 6 minus 2, that's 4. So we're looking at 5x is less than 4. If I should divide this by 5, then x is less than 4/5. And 4/5 is basically about 0.8. This is about 0.8. So if I'm going to represent this on the number line, what I'm going to do is have my number line, and I want to is very close to 1, so it is somewhere about here, right? So because we have less than, there's no bar underneath this, we're going to put an open circle here, and we want to point into the direction where all the numbers are less than 4/5. So it's like coming that way. So basically this would have worked for that, and that's it. Let's take a look at number 2. Now for number 2, what we do have for number 2 is that negative 4x minus 6 is greater than or equal to 4. So let us add 6 to both sides here. So we're actually looking at negative 4x, this becomes 0, is greater than or equal to 6 plus 4, that's 10. We're going to divide both sides by negative 4. The thing is with inequalities, when you divide by a negative number, then the sign will flip. So let us say I decide that I'm going to divide by negative 4 here. Because I divide by this negative 4, x is now flipped. So this is going to, the sign is going to flip, so x is going to be less than or equal to. So notice now, greater than, switch to less than. That's what we're dealing with. So greater than or equal to, switch to less than or equal to. So this is, if we cancel this, this is 5 over negative 2, negative 2/5. On my number line, this is basically negative 2.5. So on my number 9, so if this is where negative 2.5 is, let us say I have negative 2 here, I have negative 3 here, and I'll have negative 4 here, and it goes on like that, and then this would be negative 1, and there's a 0 here. So as you could see, negative 2.5 between negative 2 and negative 3, it's less than. So I'm going to actually shade this because it's less than or equal, because the bar is underneath this, I have to actually shade my circle, and then I'm going to point in that direction. In this case, again, it's less than, so the number is less than is always to the left, so I do this. All right, let's take a look at you could see that we could do this a number of ways, but we actually could do this one time. So what we're going to do with this is that we're going to focus on whatever we do it throughout the system. For example, I'm going to try to isolate the x. So I'm going to subtract 1 here, but I'm going to have to subtract 1 from the 16 and 1 from the 11, because I'm going to do all of them at once. So if I say 11 minus 1, this becomes 10. Put up my side. So this is 5x less than or equal to 15. Now at this time, I'm going to divide throughout by 5. And in doing so, I'm making sure that the entire system is balanced. So I'm going to divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. So 10 divided by 5, that's going to give me 2. 5x divided by 5 is x, and 15 divided by 5 will give me 3. Now if you take a look at this, this is suggesting that x is greater than 2, but it is less than or equal to 3. So how do I represent this on my number line? Let's take a look. So I'm going to make sure that I identify my 2, my 3. This is probably 1, that is 4. So when you take a look at this, x is going to be greater than 2, but at the same time you're seeing that there's no bar, so I'm going to have an open circle here. At 3, it's going to be a closed circle. So you can see the difference here. because there's a bar underneath my 3, then I have to close that circle right there. And then all I'm going to do is now just connect them like this, because x is between that. So x, this is suggesting x is greater than 2, but it is less than or equal to 3. And there it is for inequality. See you next time.